Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I told you that they all lie, all right? Especially during a war. Why? Because the stakes are high. So how do you figure out who's lying and who's not lying? And I said, pay attention, memorize things, and create patterns. In this case, how do you know when the certain kind of whistle tells you, hey, we are advancing? Hey, no, we are advancing. The easiest way to do it is to look over the map. Take a sheet of paper, put it down and say, today, this date, they said they are in this town. The next day are in this town, the next day in this town, or whenever you get information and verify, look over the map. And if that moves east or it moves west, the front, you realized who lied. So I've been telling you about Kupyansk for some time and I will show you, where the Russians kept saying, we are advancing, we are pushing in Kupyansk, we are doing in Kupyansk. I will show you maps, and it seems like indeed the Russians are advancing in Kupyansk because the Ukrainians are planning an evacuation out of Kupyansk. What does that tell you? Why now? Because they're coming closer. So that's how you find out who's lying and who tells you the truth. Now, here it is. Now, that's only one way. Is the easiest way. So here it is. These are the videos I made. The latest was on July 18th. And I said, Russian forces advance in Kupyansk, third day in a row. And I said, complicated situation, Ukrainians admit. On the 17th, again, something about Kupyansk, right here. It says that 900 tanks, 555 artillery, 100,000 personnel on Kupyansk-Liman front. That's what it is. Day before, on the 16th, again, Russians been advancing in Kupyansk front for 2 days in a row. 11th, okay, Kupyansk, everywhere Kupyansk. Now what happened? Here is what happened, my friends. Officials likely to introduce mandatory evacuation in Kupyansk district, Kharkiv Oblast, due to intense shelling. Why? Were they not shelling before? No, they were shelling before. They're advancing. Remember? They're advancing 3 days in a row on the July 18th. And let me show you where that is actually, right? Kupyansk. So this is Ukrainska. This is now part of Russia. This is Russia. Crimean Peninsula, Black Sea, Romanian weasels, and we have here Kupyansk. This is Kharkov by the Russians, Kharkiv Oblast by the Ukrainians. Kupyansk is right here. Kupyansk. So they are advancing this way, and Liman is right here. So this is the line where the Russians are gaining in their offensive, and they have the Kupyansk, Liman, Bakhmut, Artemovsk, Marinka. This is the Russian offensive. As weak as it is, it is. And the fact that these guys, which is the Ukrainians, are going to have a little mandatory evacuation from Kupyansk, that tells me that these guys are going to come over Red Rover. All right, so let's move over and read this article here. Alright, this article is from today, August 9th, 2023. Civilians might be evacuated from 53 settlements located near the areas where hostilities are taking place in Kupyansk district, Kharkiv Oblast, where I showed you. Kharkiv Oblast officials might introduce, they will, not might, they will, I guarantee you that 99%. When they start talking about this one, from previous examples, they always did. Might introduce mandatory evacuation of civilians, especially children. Snihubov said that around 11,000 civilians, including 600 children, might be evacuated. Tragedy. This guy explained that the evacuees will be given temporary housing in safer areas. Quote from this guy: the evacuation is being carried out as a preventive measure, as enemy forces have ramped up shelling in border adjacent settlement near the front. Enemy forces continue to terrorize civilians, including by conducting airstrikes. Our goal is therefore to save the lives of as many civilians as we can. Okay, well, on August 5, Russian forces attacked a blood transfusion, tralala, lulu. Okay, I don't read the bullshit, which is propaganda. And hey, we're gonna create this kind of empathy. I already have empathy, but that empathy saves you zero. Those guys have to say, stop, let's talk. No, give them more weapons, and then you have this evacuation. So that's why empathy was never a good policy maker. You don't distribute justice based on empathy. You distribute justice based on justice, on reality. Not, oh, I feel empathy for the criminal. No, he's a criminal. Let's take care of that. All right. So here is, my friends. I said it before. They said it before. I said it. I covered that because I knew. You can smell a rat, and I did. Nevertheless, the Ukrainians, I made another, for the Ukrainians, unfortunately, for Ukrainian people, I'm not talking about the politicians and these guys in charge of the Ukrainian people, that I think they decimate Ukraine, and other people are counting money. That's how you can count money, right? Anyway, so these guys will be displaced, tragedy, and what can you do? I covered in a previous video, just before this one, an article where the West lost trust in Ukraine's victory or ability to break through the first line of defense of the Russians. So if your sponsors, your planners, your friends, your lovers, your family lost trust in you, that means you should try harder. I don't know, it's already limb, so I don't know if you can try harder. Emil. All right, my friend, this is it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.